morning, everyone. I'm extremely pleased to participate in this special MARDI.doc. In fact, all MARDI.docs are special because Maud works a lot to realize this incredible work. But this one has something particular. It has to do with historical circumstances. December 12, 1972. The first boat people arrived on Pompano Beach in Florida, and they were not returned, like the first one actually who attempted to stay in Florida in September 1963. They asked for political asylum, but the administration rejected their demand, and the first one in 1963 were returned, were they sent back to Haiti. On December 12, 2022, commemorate the 50th anniversary of the first boat people, 65 Haitian men and women, after 19 days on the ocean, 800 miles away from Haiti, arrived on the shore, stranded on the shores of Pompano Beach. Their demand for political asylum was also rejected, but they stayed because a lawyer called Ira Golobin of the National Council of Churches took their case and they were able to stay. So this is a very poignant narration, the history of the boat people of Haiti coming to the shores of Florida. And we have a chance, thanks to Maud Malangre and Stéphane Saint-Ile, who were able to get a series of 3 documentaries made by Jean-Claude Charles, a very famous Haitian writer. I remember Jean-Claude didn't like to say that he was a Haitian writer. He's a writer. And that's how he answered a question that was asked to him at one point. Are you a Haitian writer? No, I'm a writer. And Jean-Claude was also a journalist. So in the 1980s, he had a mission to go and document the process, what happened to the boat people in Florida, not just in Florida, what happened to them. And these are the documentary that we're going to vision in this series of MARDI.doc. And I'm extremely pleased that we're going to do that with friends like Jasmine Narcisse. Jasmine, I'm so pleased that you accepted. I know you're working very hard on Jean-Claude.
I am honored. I am honored and pleased to be there with you, Michèle, and to work on this very important issue. Yeah.
So can you introduce yourself?
Well, you just said it. My name is Jasmine Claude Narcisse, and I am now, to start by the end, I'm now an assistant professor in the City University of New York. I've been working on the text of Jean-Claude Charles for the past 4 years. I would say a little bit more systematically and academically, even though I remember the first time I met Jean-Claude Charles was in 1986. It was in the atelier of Le Nouvelliste. And he famously wrote in Le Monde that the first question I asked him is that, do you speak Creole? To which he answered, yes, I do. And I think Jean-Claude is a major writer. He's a writer, he's a journalist, he's an activist. And even though he didn't want to be confined into the Haitian writer thing, because that has its connotation, I don't think he meant bad by doing so. He just wanted to amplify the fact that he didn't want to be put in a little corner, the little box they leave for Haitian writers, because he's also a humanist. He's like, I think Jean-Claude is everything, but we'll get to this part. And today I'm going to be commenting with you and Gerline. Joseph, I'm going to be commenting the writing of Jean-Claude Charles in relation to these 3 documentaries that are part of the investigation he made on the boat people. So
thank you. Thank you very much, Jasmine.
My pleasure.
We also have the pleasure to have Gerline Joseph, une grande dame, whose work has been awarded very recently by the Kennedy, I think it's a Robert J. Kennedy award for the work she does, and she continuously does for the Haitian refugees and migrants. Gerline, thank you so much. I know how busy you are. I know how much you travel around the world, and especially in Central and Latin America and the Caribbean, trying to do everything you can for the dignity of those Haitian refugees and migrants. Thank you so much for having accepted to be with us. Can you very shortly give us, introduce yourself?
Good morning, bonjour, honneur, respect. It is such an honor for me to be in your presence. I say Mother Pierre-Louis and Professor Narcisse. It is really an honor to be in your presence today. My name is Gerline Joseph. I am the co-founder and executive director of the Haitian Bridge Alliance. We are the only Black-led, only Haitian-led organization that is working at the U.S.-Mexico border to address the issues of Black migration, Black people in displacement, Black people in mobility, not just Haitians, but all people of African descent. We also co-founded the first Black Immigrants Bail Fund. Believe it or not, when our refugees, asylum seekers come to ask for asylum, whether they come by boat or at the border, they most likely will be put in immigration prisons. And a lot of time they are asked to pay money in order for them to be released. So because of that, we know our people don't have the money. So we created the Black Immigrants Bail Fund to be able to support them to pay that money. And we also, in our quest for freedom and liberation for our Haitian people, we created the only Cameroon Advocacy Network, where we also advocate for people from Cameroon. And we just won CPS for over 40,000 Cameroonians and over 40,000 Ethiopians. So when we show up, we don't only show up for Haiti, we show up for all people of African descent. Again, it's an honor for me to be here, and I will be talking about the intersection between what we will see in the film and what we are experiencing now.
Thank you so much, Gerline. And again, I know how busy you are. I know how precious your time is. Thank you for being here. So the story of that migration is a long narration of repression, humiliation, systematic violation of their rights, their basic rights. And thank you for bridging, just like the name of your organization, between what happened 50 years ago and what is still happening. And again, not just for Haitian, but for all people of African descent. Thank you so much. We saw what happened under the Del Rio Bridge, and I know how you were there, what you've done. So the film is about what happened earlier, much earlier. But again, we will see the constant violation and the constant work that is being done to uphold these people's dignity. So the film, please, I hope that everyone who is watching and listening goes to watch the film. It's on watch.eventive.org/MARDI.doc. So again, Maud, thank you so much. Stéphane Saint-Ile, thank you so much. We are very pleased that you are able to go and fetch for these documentaries. That says so much about the first migrant that arrived in the United States. we're going to see the first extract from the first documentary, whose name is A Man in Turmoil.
Actuellement, on peut compter près de 100 à 150 sectes protestantes. Elles envisagent la lutte contre l'Église catholique et avec des objections toujours les mêmes, très anciennes sur la Vierge Marie ou bien sur la papauté, sur le Vatican. Les sectes sont engendrées par des églises mères qui sont en Amérique et surtout aux États-Unis. Ils sont dans la partie sud des États-Unis, dans le sud des États-Unis. Et alors, ces sectes disposent certainement de moyens financiers parfois importants. Et alors, c'est là le problème, c'est qu'on a l'impression qu'il y a peut-être un certain commerce qui se fait, c'est-à-dire que l'évangélisation devient question presque d'acheter les gens. On vous donne de l'argent, on vous donne des vivres, on vous donne également des vêtements, et puis bon, vous changez de religion.
Extrait du concordat régissant les relations entre le Vatican et la République d'Haïti. Article 3. Le gouvernement de la République d'Haïti s'oblige d'accorder et de maintenir aux archevêchés et évêchés un traitement annuel convenable sur les fonds du Trésor public. Article 4. Le président d'Haïti jouira du privilège de nommer les archevêques et les évêques.
Je jure et promets à Dieu, sur les saints évangiles, comme il convient à un évêque, de garder obéissance et fidélité au gouvernement établi par la Constitution d'Haïti et de ne rien entreprendre, ni directement, ni indirectement, qui soit contraire aux intérêts de la République.
J'ai refusé catégoriquement de prêter serment à Duvalier et c'est l'une des raisons aussi qui a provoqué mon arrestation en Haïti. Et une fois qu'on n'a pas prêté serment à Duvalier, ce prêtre-là ne reçoit aucun salaire du gouvernement. Moi, j'ai accepté aucun salaire du gouvernement. J'ai préféré vivre sur mes ressources personnelles.
Je tiens à désigner moi-même le nouvel archevêque de Port-au-Prince et l'évêque d'Écailles. Serez-vous d'accord?
Plus tard, Monseigneur François-Wolf Ligondé prononce le serment civil. En octobre 1966, le premier archevêque haïtien est consacré.
Bravo! Vive nos évêques!
Il y a un gouvernement établi dans un pays, de toute façon, tous les citoyens doivent y obéir.
Non, c'est-à-dire que le serment n'est pas formulé d'une façon très claire parce qu'il dit obéir au gouvernement. Alors, le gouvernement, il peut donner des ordres par d'autres voies que la loi.
Oh non, écoutez, le gouvernement agit par quels moyens? Le gouvernement agit par les corps constitués. Les corps constitués, c'est quoi? C'est le pouvoir exécutif, c'est le président et les ministres, et c'est le pouvoir législatif, c'est le Parlement, et c'est le pouvoir judiciaire. Voilà les trois corps de l'État.
Wow. As we've seen the first Archbishop of Haiti, nominated by the dictator himself, so full of himself, so happy, so, bathing in his own words and in his own power. And in contrast, we see Father Gérard Jean-Just, created the Haitian Refugee Center, Inc., that has played a big role in fighting for Haitian migrants and refugees. And you have the idea of what's behind these two protagonists in that, and the movie is really well done. The documentary is really well done, that putting them in their paradoxical situation. So, Jasmine, what's your take on this?
Well, and I will add about Monseigneur Ligondé, so servient. And in fact, I'm going to start that by saying that I feel like I am now today correcting something, that Ligondé is from Lekai, as me.
And so are you.
He was, yeah, and so am I. And I remember vividly in my very young age, listening to people around in my family being very proud of the fact that the first named archevêque of Haiti was someone from Lekai. And I feel like being able to speak to him on the terms that we're speaking about him right now is correcting this wrongdoing. What I think about that is that in the film earlier, before that extract, the film also shown people in the street. It was a kind of really rara carnival scene where they were chanting and everything. And in the parallel of that, we had people praying. And then you have the archevêque speaking like that about it. And it seems to me what we see here is how the people are trapped between this thing that they give them so that they can, the carnival that they created for them so that they can put out all their energy, all their anger, and prayer that they tell them that maybe that could save them because that's what they believe in. And how the church that was supposed to protect them, and that's very well shown with Jean Just, is going to be in Haiti doing that, which is supporting the power. And it's a combination of all these things that are going to be pushing these people out, because actually their very basic needs, I would say, in the country at the moment were not being met. Because what was important, it was power in every single form possible, institutional power, and the church being one of this institutional power at the time. And whether he was speaking about what the Protestants were doing by pulling people and making them change religion, but in reality, the Catholic religion, Catholic Church, was not helping them any better, because what it was really in some kind of very tie with the power to really control the people.
Very well.
I can say more later, but I think that's what I feel like it was being shown very well here. Yeah.
What you said, which is important, is that, and that's why the film is so intelligently done. The first documentary goes to Haiti and shows the two escapes for the people that are subjugated in a dictatorship. The carnivals, so people go dance in the street, they probably distribute a few dollars here and there, and the church, where they hope for a better life. And at the same time, you have this archbishop, standing next to his a huge painting of him, grandeur nature, I mean, this looks so ridiculous. It's about a man who really benefited a lot from the dictatorship. It's not by by chance that he became the Archbishop of Port-au-Prince. And you can feel the way he speaks, how happy he is, how extremely proud he is of serving that particular government.
And then what maybe, Michelle, we should add at the moment, I'm sorry to interrupt, is the fact that there are, at the time, as Jean Just, a whole part of the Catholic priests that were gone and sent in exile at the time already. That maybe it's strictly important to talk about. Yeah.
That's the part I was going to ask Gerline to react about, because that's also a very important scene of seeing the contrast between those who objected to being subservient to the dictatorship, like Father Jean Just, and who would rather leave the country and go in Florida, fight for the boat people that were leaving the country at the same time that this archbishop was being so proud of being who he was. Gerline, what's your take?
It is just amazing watching this and really looking into where we are today. And it seems like history is repeating itself or herself. Because where we are right now, although I will say it's at least 1,000 times worse than where we were in the 1970s. But we're living the same manifestation. We currently have hundreds and thousands of people fleeing Haiti, but at the same time, we do have people defending the fact that we are in an abyss. We are experiencing, I don't want to compare what people were experiencing under the dictatorship, because I have heard and I have listened to many of the stories, and I understand everybody have a different reality, a different experience. But what we are dealing with today in Haiti is again a reflection of what happened back in the 1970s with Monseigneur Ligonde and with Pierre-Louis defending the rights of the people, defending the women and the children who could not eat, who could not escape, defending the people whose families were taken in the middle of the night and disappearing. But we also have this concept of, no, we are doing well. We literally have people in Haiti right now projecting the same grandeur, right? That, oh, it's only in Port-au-Prince, therefore Haiti is doing fine, and it's all lies. So when we really look at the contrast between then and now, we clearly see it is the same mentality. Unfortunately, we haven't learned to change the way we are seeing Haiti and prioritizing the need of the people of Haiti. It's always about me, right? What am I getting out of it? Like Monseigneur Ligonde, I am this great, amazing person and everything is well because I am in a position of power where I am doing well. Therefore, I have to protect that. Contrasting to Pierre-Louis was saying, no, that's not the reality. We have a majority of the people who are suffering right now, and we need a new direction.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gerlin, for this appreciation and making the link once again between what happened then and what is still happening. You know, I live in Haiti, and I can tell you how desperate some communities are, you know, left to their own devices while people are being raped, kidnapped, violated, and it's a continuing story. The thing at the same time is that there is resistance. There is a lot of resistance, just like there was at the time. And I believe Father Jean-Just exemplified that. So we're going to watch a second extract from the first documentary. And again, I think Jean-Claude Charles did very well in going to Haiti and seeing what exists there and who speaks of the situation in Haiti then.
J'avais écrit mon premier livre à l'âge de 16 ans, Ce que chantent les vagues. Ce fut un recueil de pensées qui a connu un certain succès à l'époque parce que l'ouvrage a été présenté au Canada et traduit dans plusieurs langues.
Dans quelle langue?
Dans toutes les langues, anglais, français, espagnol, allemand.
Mais c'était, à l'origine, c'était en créole?
Non, c'était en français.
Ah bon?
Ouais, ouais. C'était un petit recueil de 100 pages contenant environ 200 pensées. Ouais. À cette époque, les journaux disaient que j'étais le nouveau Pascal d'Haïti, et ce n'est que 20 ans après que j'ai repris la plume pour publier Du plaisant au sévère et une année après du rire aux larmes. Franchement, j'ai une telle sympathie pour cet homme, je le considère à l'égal de mes enfants. Et vous savez, on est un peu aveuglé par l'amour en général L'amour vous jette un voile opaque sur les yeux, vous empêche de voir les défauts des autres. Il est tellement gentil, tellement bien élevé. Enfin, il a toujours le sourire avec ses amis. Je n'ai jamais entendu élever la voix, que vraiment je n'arrive pas à lui reconnaître des défauts. Il est même peut-être trop bien pour un chef d'État. C'est peut-être son principal défaut. Il est trop bien élevé pour un chef d'État. C'est la seule chose que je pourrais lui reprocher. Haïti a une très grande chance d'avoir Jean-Claude Duvalier au pouvoir, surtout durant ces 10 dernières années. Parce que autrement, nous serions comme le Nicaragua, le Salvador, s'il n'y avait pas son type, avec autant de points quand même, parce qu'il a su.
Monsieur Ernest Bennett, à part ses activités d'homme de lettres, est aussi un homme d'affaires dont la presse internationale parle beaucoup, ainsi que de sa famille.
Bennett évalue sa fortune à 6 millions de dollars et les titres fonciers de sa famille à plus de 100 millions de dollars. Il emploie 17 000 paysans et 400 ouvriers. C'est le plus gros patron du pays. Il est le premier exportateur de café d'Haïti, le café étant la principale denrée d'exportation de la République. Les pauvres, vous pensez qu'ils sont malheureux, mais ils ne le sont pas.
Le Miami News.
Le scandale du pétrole éclabousse les Bennett.
Latin America Regional Report.
Député Le Rouge interpelle le ministre du Commerce. Séance orageuse. Bennett dénoncé.
Haïti Observateur.
Franz Bennett, beau-frère de bébé Doc, incarcéré pour trafic de drogue à Porto Rico, devra verser une caution de 2 millions de dollars.
Libération.
L'édification d'une pyramide socio-économique où tous les paliers participent pleinement à l'entreprise de développement permettra d'aborder l'endémie avec des perspectives grandioses pour tous.
Jean-Claude Duvalier.
Entre les producteurs et les intermédiaires seront progressivement atténués.
Jean-Claude Duvalier.
Je suis fait, non pour la haine, mais pour l'amour.
Jean-Claude Duvalier.
Citoyen conscient de ses devoirs et de ses obligations envers la collectivité nationale.
Jean-Claude Duvalier. Jean-Claude Duvalier. Jean-Claude Duvalier. Jean-Claude Duvalier. Jean-Claude Duvalier.
Toutes les personnes doivent saluer le drapeau. C'est règlement les forces armées d'Haïti. Hein? On doit saluer le drapeau.
Oui, mais les civils, c'est pas les forces armées.
Tout le monde.
Ah bon, tout le monde. Ah bon. Même les civils doivent s'arrêter quand le drapeau...
Quand le drapeau, en descend du drapeau, tous les civils. Tous les civils. Et au moment de monter du drapeau, de la même façon.
Et si on ne s'arrête pas, qu'est-ce qu'il arrive?
Enfin, sanction.
Quelle sanction?
On doit mettre on doit demander pour quelle raison on a refusé de saluer le drapeau.
Et alors?
Alors si vous êtes un communiste, ou du moins si vous n'êtes pas obéi à la loi.
Et alors, quelle est la sanction?
Prison.
While Bennett is, exhilarated by his own literary activities, there are political prisoners. Majority of the population is living in terrible situation, no rights, no capacity to demonstrate. And even if while they are saluting the flag, when it goes up or when it goes down, you don't stop and get out of your car. Or if you're in the street walking, you have to stand. You go to jail. That's what this this guy is saying, this policeman or this soldier is saying. So again, it's very interesting how Jean-Claude was able to capture very important elements that he's going to use later in the other part of the documentary. So again, Gerline, first, I'll start with you this time, and then I'll ask Jasmine to comment.
This is just so amazing. And again, I apologize for keeping on going back and forth between then and now, because that's the reality. And watching the film, the video clip, and we saw the Bennett, the Bennett that being accused in Puerto Rico, being this and that. We are reliving the same issues. As we are speaking, Canada is putting sections in people who were president, vice presidents, and ministers, and things like that. And it is heartbreaking to see that we continue the same cycle, the same circle, and again, not prioritizing the needs of the people. And we have one thing that really brought me is when he was speaking, they had the three pictures behind him that I'll say a lot of the Haitian household had those pictures back in the days, right? And when they were saying Jean-Claude Duvalier, baby dog, that was exactly that was the sense we had to uphold the president, creating a sort of a dynasty, right? A royalty type of unrealistic reality. And then bringing it back to today, we also have certain families who are still connected to the Duvalier, to the Duvaliers or the Bennett, who are still today in power, upholding the same ideology. And we are seeing sanctions being put by international communities such as Canada, the United States, and others, connecting them to what's happening in Haiti. And I just want to go quickly back into the previous one with Monseigneur Ligonde and Father Jean-Just, and connecting that again to the church in Haiti, where recently we all asking where are the guns coming from to go into Haiti, and then it was connected to the church bringing the guns from the United States to Haiti. And we really see again and again the connecting of the past and the present, and reliving in some ways the past, but making it worse today than it was before. And I want to highlight that last week, Saturday, we had a boat that came from Haiti with about 200 people, including 46 children. That just happened the last few days. But the United States returned those people to Haiti. They kept 10 people to do investigation, but all 46 children were sent back. So the boat people issue of the United States not receiving and protecting Haitians who are coming to the shores because of dictatorship, because of political turmoil that are backed by the United States, that are backed by US foreign policy in Haiti, we still see that the abuse, the unwelcomed that is given when it comes to people coming from Haiti, fleeing economic disasters, political turmoil, and extreme violence.
Thank you, Gerline. That's terrible, you know. And this really, to me, who lives in Haiti, and I just come back from Jérémie, you know, where I work with a lot of smallholder farmers organizations and women's organizations. And I see the resistance of these people. And I see the consciousness that they have of what is happening in the country. And with them, we spend a whole evening asking ourselves, why does why can't we get out of this trap, you know, that we're repeating the same mistakes, we are having the same people in power, and the emancipation we're dreaming of and we're fighting for is still can, you know, we cannot come to terms with what's going on, and we still have to fight. My God, Jasmine.
I'll be short on that. One thing I would like to explicit, because I guess there are people who are going to be watching this who are young enough to not know maybe who Binette is. And since we didn't explicit it and it wasn't explicit in the thing, that Binette is like Duvalier father-in-law at the time. Duvalier just married his daughter, Michèle, who was on one of the pictures. So, of course, everything he was saying was, he was, like Yarlin just mentioned, that he was speaking for his own chapel here. But the thing also is what is like mostly hard is that, and Jean-Claude, at the time, Jean-Claude Charles didn't, in his investigation and in his book, De Si Jolie Petite Plage. In fact, we didn't really introduce the book, which this is the book that he wrote about this whole, yeah, you got it, about mine is all worked up, about this investigation. He didn't explicitly mention this Binette himself, but through the whole entire investigation, through the entire book, it is clear that he is connected. The exact way Garlin is doing it right now is connected the situation of these people who are here to the situation in Haiti, explaining how, in fact, the first crime in the situation of these people, I mean, the second maybe, I don't know which one is the most important. There is the fact that this country is pushing them out. Haiti doesn't want them. And he's even have somewhere where he has this quote of someone who's saying like, okay, do you like your country? They ask you to love your country, but what if the country doesn't love you? And what he was implying is that we have this country pushing these people out because they are, at the same time, when they got here and they're being treated the way they're being treated, Haiti doesn't defend them. Haiti doesn't come, because these are Haitian people, and normally they're supposed to be protected by their country, by their representation. Nowhere in the investigation, and he's explicitly saying, no one is speaking for them but the activists who are on the field, like speaking about them. And the second thing that I will say pretty quick, because that's going to come back and back, is the idea of control and imposition on civilians that starts being shown here with the flag thing. And he is very Foucauldian for that. And at the moment was when Jean-Claude is doing, Charles is doing this investigation, he already published, is his fourth book, but one of them is called The Corps Noir, the Black Body. And before the Black Body, he published this essay in a French journal that's called L'État Moderne, that's called Le Corps de l'Esclave, the slave body. And he does a very good job showing how they need to control the Black body. The way this body is a body that has to always be put in some kind of situation where they use it as it's a tool, it's a commodification and everything of the body, but at the same time, it's a body that needs to be contained, and that doesn't have anyway the kind of freedom. And we'll have the possibility to talk about more, to show how the physical body of the people are going to be marked by these, I would say, this freedom that is being taken away from them. But I feel like there is a hint of this that is being shown at this part of it.
Yeah.
We need to...
Just like it was,
yeah,
just like it was in slavery. Just like it was in slavery.
Definitely. Yeah.
But can you imagine the 17,000 peasants working for Bennett, the conditions and their dream of living this hell and trying to look for a better life elsewhere?
But did you hear that? Maybe we need to say it in English, because I don't know if that was clear enough, where Bennett said, we think these people are unhappy, but they're not. We think the peasants are unhappy, but they're not. The poor people, we think these people, they say poor and unhappy, but they are not.
Exactly.
So for me, that's the much violent thing to hear.
Absolutely.
From someone like that.
Yeah. Since we are speaking to the U.S. audience, and I think one of the things we've been trying to do, and I've been trying to do, is bringing the Black diaspora together and understanding the mentality, the reality of the slave mentality and white supremacy when it comes to vulnerable people. They have the bare minimum. They should be happy. That's what he's saying, is that where they are, exactly, they should be happy with what they have, because if it wasn't for me, le grand monsieur, they probably wouldn't have anything at all, which is the same mentality of the slave masters in Haiti, in Brazil, and in the United States, is that you are being confined to a space where you should be happy with what you have. You should be happy making sure that I am rich. You should be happy making sure that at least, you're not being sold at this moment. It's really the connection of anti-Black racism and white supremacy and the mentality of slave ownership in plantations in Haiti, in the Caribbean, South America, but definitely in the United States as well.
That's true. That's true, Gerlin. And beware of what's happening in the US now. When you watch the news in what's happening with the Trumpians and the deniers, and it's frightening. But what about Haiti? We were the one who broke the chains through a fight against racism, colonialism, slavery. And maybe that's why also we're being so punished since we've done that. We come back to that, but let's move to the next one, because it's going to talk about what's happening in the camps. And Gerlin, you will have a lot to say about that. But thank you for your thoughts about the links again.
Il y a parfois mais le problème de développement de est évident. Le problème est évident et actuellement les responsables officiels de la santé publique aux États-Unis, ils sont en train d'investiguer actuellement. On avait tendance à un certain moment de le mettre sur le compte de l'isoniazide. C'est un médicament que l'on prend dans la tuberculose qui a comme effet secondaire et effet à côté justement la gynécomastie, qui est le développement anormal de la glande mammaire.
Est-ce qu'il y a autant de cas de tuberculose ici que de cas de gonflement des seins chez les hommes?
Eh bien justement, on a constaté qu'il y a des malades qui ne sont pas en train de recevoir l'isoniazide, qui est le traitement contre la tuberculose, qui développe également cette anomalie.
Quel est le pourcentage des hommes développant cette anomalie ici, à Croix?
Ici, un pourcentage, je ne tiens pas les statistiques ici, mais j'ai participé à la détection des cas de gynécomastie ici. Et je peux dire que sur la population actuelle ici, on peut compter environ une soixantaine de cas avec des gravités plus ou moins variées.
Et il y a combien de personnes à Chrome ici détenues?
Actuellement, je peux donner un chiffre approximatif. Cela approche environ 700.
Mais où sont les hommes atteints par cette anomalie-là? On ne les voit pas ici.
Et actuellement, oui. Non, je ne peux pas d'un coup d'œil déterminer.
Parce que moi, j'ai cherché, je n'ai rien trouvé.
Ils sont assez...
On dit qu'on les cache.
Non, pour cela, c'est peut-être la politique de l'immigration qui peut-être refuse qu'ils donnent des interviews ou autres.
Ils avaient l'impression de rechercher la terre de la liberté. Ils avaient l'impression de résoudre en venant ici tous leurs problèmes d'un coup comme par enchantement. Et ils ont constaté qu'il y en a qui traînent 6, 7, 8 mois ici. Et c'est assez dur. Ils reçoivent des nouvelles, des SOS qui leur parviennent d'Haïti, des gens qui avaient espoir en eux et qui sont encore déprimés. Et ça crée un problème extraordinairement grave. Et je pense que ils sont très courageux pour avoir jusqu'ici pu surmonter ces difficultés morales, psychologiques. Mais malgré tout, de temps à autre, il y en a certains qui craquent, qui n'arrivent pas à tenir, qui n'arrivent pas à lutter contre les situations déprimantes et qui font des crises hystériques, qui sont déprimés et que l'on est obligé d'hospitaliser.
Est-ce que vous avez l'impression de travailler dans un camp de concentration ici?
Je crois que, à plusieurs points de vue, le camp d'ici répond aux critères d'un camp de concentration. Et si je suis ici, je travaille, c'est peut-être parce que je suis médecin, je suis haïtien, et je crois que ma présence ici leur permet un peu de relever, de faire face à des difficultés, de maintenir un peu d'espoir.
This factory, we manufacture softballs and baseballs. From the very beginning, as you saw, we have a patented process of making the cores for the baseballs and the softballs. These are patented in 10 countries throughout the world. And of course, after we make the cores, we have the girls there stitch the covers on the baseballs and softballs. Haiti is producing about 95% of the baseballs and the softballs used in the United States. There's only a few made, some made in Taiwan, and very few in Korea, but Haiti is the major world producer of baseballs and softballs. We are in Haiti because of the great labor pool of people who are readily trainable, and of course we're here basically for the low-cost labor. It would be impossible to sew a baseball in the United States due to the high cost of the labor, and this is a labor-intensive industry. And the people here are very cooperative, and as I said before, are easy to train. And we have found it to be very, very profitable for us to be here in Haiti, manufacturing baseballs. Every major baseball company is in Haiti. And outside of our industry, there are approximately, I'd say, 250 other American companies doing business in Haiti in many industries. Electronics and sewing industries, in the shoe business. There are just many of them.
Terrifying. We have two extracts there. I'm not going to comment myself because each time I watch them, I'm devastated. The first one about Homme, the second one about the exploitation for huge profits by American companies of cheap labor. That's what he said. The key words are profitable, cheap labor, and women. And I know women who got tuberculosis by doing this gesture. You know? So, Gerline, what do you feel?
So I am trying not to start crying right now because this is very painful and this is my reality. We're living, living this reality right now, right? Because what we saw at Rome and what we know happened in Guantanamo, to people, to Haitians who were fleeing, and we saw the adverse consequence of the medical system that they became a part of guinea pigs, right? Because I do believe, like many believe, that they were doing experiments on those people. And we also know that the United States is very well known with experimenting on Black bodies. So that was a perfect opportunity for them to do whatever they did. But I want to highlight that the immigration prison system we have today in the United States, which we have people fighting every day to dismantle every day, to close down, started for Haitians, started to imprison and experiment on Black people, on Haitians. And one of the programs we have here at the Haitian Wood Alliance is a visitation program where we go into those immigration prisons like Quomes and Adelanto and Otay Mesa, where people are literally physically dying, all the time. We go into those spaces, into those prisons to witness what's happening. And as the doctor said, if you don't go, people don't know what's happening. There's no accountability. I will share one quick story with you. I live in Orange County, California. I received a call from a mother in Boston who told me that she was looking for her daughter for the past 2 weeks and couldn't find her. And somebody told her, if you can't find her, the only person who can help you is Girlie Joseph. I'm like, oh, no. That's not true, because I do not know where your daughter is. And she said, well, you are my last hope. And I went into the system trying to figure it out. And she told me that the daughter is in a place called Irvine in Orange County. Turned out it's only 10 miles from where I live. You will never think that we have this type of prisons in this area. So when I went to visit, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit longer than we wanted it to be. When I arrived, I found 117 Haitian names. 117 Haitian names. And I went and I visited the first time, the second time, the third time. People looked at me and say, Madame, I don't know if God sent you or who sent you, but I can tell you your presence have made a difference. Because now they know they have somebody who cares for us and somebody who will hold them accountable if they do something wrong to us. So what we witnessed in the film is still happening today. As we are talking today, the mistreatment of people in immigration prison is happening today. In addition, when people are being put in CBP custody, they can go up to 21 days without access to any hygiene, no shower, no toothbrush, nothing, confined in a room of up to 60 people without access to even a shower. And then they call them names, they call them they smell bad. This is the reality today of Haitians and other people who are being put in immigration prison.
Thank you. I see. I'm extremely moved also, and it's devastating to hear the stories today again and again. And what you said about us being used as guinea pigs for medical experiments, we've seen that even by testing the contraceptive pill that was done in Haiti in the 20s during the US occupation, and later in the 30s, in the 40s. You know, they experimented medicine on Haitian women, Haitian men, you know, and it's done in the US with the Black population. So, and they are, you know, giving Haitians a medicine for tuberculosis so that their breast could, and then the consequence is that their breast was growing is mind-boggling, really. I don't know if you want to add something. I'm sure you do, Jasmine.
Pretty quick. I'll be pretty quick on it. And actually, it's hard, but I guess we could not point out this thing. I showed this extract on a course that I'm teaching actually this very semester. I'm teaching a course that's called humanities course that's called Haitian Experience in the US. And of course, the boat people and then these situations, they take a big part of it. So I showed these extracts to my students, and they're young American kids who are like in their late teens, early 20s. And then after that, there was a big silence. And one of them said, I have a question. And she said to me, no one, there is no case, there is nothing going on. Do we know now what happened to these people? Like what it is that happened then and what it is now of them? I have to say that I didn't expect the question, even though that was a question of mine, but I didn't expect it to be voiced like that in front of like 25 students. And I guess that was the shame of my life to have to answer to this young, she's a Haitian American kid, to answer to her no. In the book, there was an excerpt here where Ira Kurzban said that there was this case where he was asking for $100 million for these people who were suffering this case. But we never heard about this case or about the money. We never heard about these people either, and no one ever knew what happened. And this is that comes back to Gerlin saying, these people, no one cares actually about them. When I say no one, that's what the situation is showing, is that for one Gerlin doing what she's doing, there are like 10,000 other people who are waiting, and she cannot be everywhere. And not talking about the way people, the body of the Black people are being like used in this situation, and they die of it too. At the end of the book here, one of the inmates committed suicide. Yeah. And this is the way actually the book ends. The case of this guy, and the doctor talked about it, that once in a while, one of them loses it, and then they have to send them to hospital and give them medication because sometimes the tension is too much. So the reason why I just put the emphasis on that is to show how it's not just a matter of rights, even though the matter of rights is not just a matter. It's a matter also of life. It's a matter of the physical people, of everyday suffering, and of people dying in these kind of situations.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Jasmine. You know, I read and reread a book written by the Haitian scholar, a historian called Jean-Alix René, and he said something very important that really stayed with me. He said that the Haitian peasantry, the former slaves that became the Haitian peasantry, wanted to organize their life around two values: dignity and honor. And second, what they were expecting from the state is protection. They wanted to be protected because they've never been protected before.
Never.
Yet it's the same story again and again and again. So now we're going to look at the last clip, The Children of Millbrook. Get ready for something again and again, extremely heartbroken.
Et dit, dans l'Haïti, les Ogan, nous voient avec famille, nous parlons avec eux, nous filmons, nous enregistrons voyons, nous faisons photos, et puis vous voyez pour vous, une lettre que nous portons là pour vous. Mes photos,
Merci. Merci.
Vous reconnaissez?
Oui.
Qui est-ce qu'il a?
Famille.
Qui est-ce?
Mario, Hélène, Adeline, Mimose, Monica.
Il y a l'autre photo
Almen.
encore,
Oui. Nicole, Hélène, Adli, Monica.
Depuis qui l'ont quitté tout le monde ça?
22 janvier.
Qui bon ou aller l'ont quitté?
Devine Miami.
Combien de temps fait? C'est sous bâtiment Vini?
Yeah.
Combien de temps fait sous de l'eau?
3 semaines.
L'arrivée Miami, Jean-Baptiste était passé.
Je vais se très bien.
Qui bon aller l'arrivée Miami?
Encore.
Homme.
Comme notre.
Combien de temps fait là?
5 mois.
Nous t'avons l'aide pour tout là.
Ok. Thank you. Thank you.
Faut pas appeler Lily?
Oui. Je vais pas boire plus loin.
Faut pas qu'à Lily?
Non.
Vous voulez me Lily pour?
Oui.
Bah moi non, m'appeler pour.
Côté mon
Comment te portes-tu? Bien, nous l'espérons. De notre côté, ça va. Tout le monde est en parfaite santé, sauf Monsieur Justin, de temps en temps, qui ne se porte pas bien. Nous espérons te revoir un de ces jours. Nous sommes très contents de toi, parce que nous avons vu que tu ne nous as pas oubliés. Et aussi, nous ne t'avons pas oublié. Bonne santé et heureuse année 82. Reçois nos baisers. Mario, Hélène, Justin, Fritz, Almen et tous tes amis t'envoient bonjour. Et merci d'avoir envoyé tes amis pour nous filmer, nous donner de tes nouvelles. Hélène. Qui ça, Hélène, est pour? C'est ma tante tout?
Yeah.
Il écrit souvent?
Non, première lettre.
C'est première lettre qu'il écrit.
Yeah. La mercredi m'a amené les réponses.
Leur écrit, il n'y a pas jamais de réponse?
Non.
Beaucoup n'y a comme nous, on va le répondre.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Si elle dit, depuis aller à ou écrit moi même ça prendre nouvelle. Bonjour, demandez-vous été. Bonne santé. Moi, de vous quatre de bonnes fêtes, mais bon, moi, je suis bien content. Je suis bien content, même moi, ça joint qui monde pour me d'envoyer pour bas. Si je ne pas qu'on adresse ou.
Vous saluer dans nos lettres.
Wow. Les enfants Millbrook, the children of Millbrook. The U.S. decided at one point, the immigration, that unaccompanied children with mothers or fathers, the same blood, were taken from whoever, grand, tante, tonton, that accompanied them and separated them and sent them in this extremely cold center, which is another, one of the young girls said it's like a concentration camp again. So it is, Jasmine, tell me, I know, it's when you look at the kids and you think of the complexity of the feelings that's going through the mind, that you can see in his eyes, that you can see in the difficulty that he has to express himself, and that he is concerned with protecting himself so that things don't get worse for him. And at the same time, where is the truth in what he's saying? It's extremely complex, and it's a terrible, I would say, almost a crime to put children in that particular situation. So, Jasmine, I know you've done, maybe we could leave that for the end, but I know you've done a translation of TAD.
Yeah.
Maybe I will ask Berlin to react, and you will end with the translation.
Okay, so yeah, the first,
go ahead,
yeah, pretty quick. In this part of in this film, this third documentary, they have like a parallel between these families that they went to the kids' family in Haiti. Some of them are in Florida, and the kids in the camp where they are. And what is like getting me is the fact that none of these families in Haiti are asking, can we have our children back? The children are being detained. They're in some kind of camp. They know they're not free. But this is never mentioned by the families. And even more, they ask the kids to not come back. For me, this is like a key thing, and this is saying a lot. And the mother, even the mother of Eddie, when he had to speak to Eddie, he just told him, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you could leave. And Eddie himself, and this is what the page I translated is talking about, is how Jean-Claude Charles is showing in his dialogue with the children, how they are like going in between what they're feeling as their pain of being there, because they know that the situation is not the situation they're supposed to be in, but at the same time, like you just mentioned, Michèle, protecting themselves. What can I say and why can't I say?
Absolutely.
And I would like us to take the measure of what that means psychologically for someone to be living in this, it's kind of some kind of schizophrenic place to be living in this place where you have to show up a certain way because you have a goal, and one thing you know is that there is no way back for you. So you have to manage to be in this space a way that's never you, but a way that is maybe the expected way that could save you a future. So I will leave it there for now with that question. That is like, for me, it's like the most poignant thing ever. And I can come back after on this page of Eddie speaking.
I'll let you translate, since you have translated it.
Yeah. It's just a matter of reading it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gerline? Because again, Jean-Claude did something extremely interesting, He took his crew and he went to the families of these children in Leogane, in the north. And you see how destitute this family are also, and how the dream and the hope that their kids have made it through hell, through Cayolo Boss, and the expectation that they will make it and send money back. you know, we have a lot of questioning about ourselves, about our country, about Haiti when we watch this type of documentary. Gerlin.
Yes, and I know I keep on going back to today's reality. And one thing,
but that's why you're here, Gerlin. That's why we're here. Because
we want to hear that. We need to hear that, Gerlin, I think.
Yes, thank you so much. And one thing you mentioned is sending money back home, sending remittance back home. And I was reflecting the other day on the diaspora, and clearly understand that the diaspora are those of us who have escaped and fled and survived the journey, whether it is by boat or making the journey by foot. The people who fled the Duvalier when they had to put perruque on, to change their appearances, really going back into the reality, what the diaspora is. Diaspora are those of us who are able to make it out, or our parents, grandparents were able to make it out, and survive the journey. And one of our main purpose is sending money back home, because there is no other hope for people to survive. And really looking into children who are also making this journey. For right now, we have children who were not born in Haiti. The majority of the children we are seeing at the US-Mexico border were born in the Dominican Republic, were born in Chile, were born in Brazil, and a lot of them end up being born in Mexico because they've been waiting for a very long time. I just came back from Panama, seeing a lot of children being born in the jungle, literally in the jungle. So we are seeing not only Haitians, but people of Haitian descent when it comes to the children who are making the way. And they themselves, the moment you leave Haiti, you become a part of the diaspora. And Haiti no longer concerns you about your well-being and your welfare, is no longer, quote unquote, a concern of the Haitian state or the Haitian government, right? Because you left and they're expecting you to send money back. And we are dealing with the reality is that the majority of the people don't even have a passport, yet they cannot afford to get a passport because it has been lost. They don't have the money. And the conditions in which Haitian migrants, people who are being displaced from Haiti are living is beyond subhuman. If you see what our people are dealing with, you will not be able to sleep. That is the reality. So when we talk about diaspora, what's happening today, it is heartbreaking to see the what we call, I think I mentioned that before, conséquences d'Haïti. I don't know how to say that in English, right? Because of the way things are, because we continue with the same pattern that we have seen going on, because the leaders, because the government, because the state doesn't take care of itself, of its children, of its people, we continue to see people fleeing Haiti, people become a part of the diaspora, people dying on the way to chercher la vie, to looking for life. And we are seeing a lot of lives being lost. And there is no consequence, there's no accountability for the people, for the state of Haiti, what I mean the people in control of Haiti. And there's no accountability to any of those countries or places where Haitians find themselves living in extremely inhumane conditions. And we all saw what happened in Del Rio in the United States in 2021, when we had 14,000 Haitians under the bridge, and all of them have been deported. All of them have been sent back to Haiti, including pregnant women, including newborn babies, that continues to create a precedent for other countries like the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic to deport Haitians. I'm just sharing that because we are talking about the reality today and connecting that to the past and seeing how well the documentaries have been preserving the voices, the realities that people don't see. And I really encourage people to go and see those documentaries, see those films. And I really hope we can continue this conversation because we have to learn from the past, understand what we are in the present, and plan for a better future, because we cannot continue the same circle, the same cycle of inhumane conditions in Haiti and extremely abusive condition of Haitians living aboard.
Thank you so much, Galen. You know, something that has not been taken into account happened. The demographics of Haiti. The population has doubled in 30 years. When Duvalier left, we were 5.5 million. Now we are 12 million with nothing prepared for these new generations of young people. When you look at the age pyramid, young people, no schools, no health centers, no jobs, no housing, nothing. What do you want them to do when your own state is incapable and not wanting to look at you like real human beings that deserve to be protected? So before we end, thank you again, Gerline, for your very thoughtful and insightful comments. Jasmine, I would like you to read the translation you've done, and I will conclude with words.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Gerline. One thing I think I need to mention before I read this text is that the fact that Jean-Claude Charles himself, when he's one of the exiled from Duvalier, and when he wrote this thing, and the way he wrote the book and when he did this documentary is how I think he put his own body, his own self into that thing. And while he was very conscious of the fact that people like him, he was not a boat people, he was a plain people like him who were in exile, even though they were in exile and suffering from that, because he loved his country so much. They were nowhere near the condition of these people. But the empathy that is like being in this, that he put in the work, translates in every single sentence, in every single word. And these interviews that he had with the kids were the most painful because there were a malaise. There was some kind of things that was not being done, like the anomaly of the situation transpired, I feel, in every single one of these dialogues. And this is why this very page of Eddie we just saw speaking with him, and this very page, I translated it and I would like to read it for you. So it's called Distress, Symptoms, Cracks, Resistance, Leaks. Eddie the fugitive pretends his trip lasted 3 weeks. All went well. Excellent memory. Dialogue. Do you remember when you were on the boat? Yeah. Were there any issues? No, not at all. We didn't have a lot of problems. We didn't miss food. We didn't have any problem at all. Weren't you stopped on the way? We got stuck in a place called Cayolobos. We lived there for 2-3 months. There was nobody on the island. Cayolobos, a desertic rock in the Bahamas Highlands. One of the rescued from a bloody odyssey I will tell you about later. For now, let's say that the trip lasted 3 weeks. No, 3 months. They don't have any sense of time. It was the beautiful boat trip all kids dream of, wasn't it? Do you remember those you left in Haiti? Mario, Hélène, Adeline, Mimose, Monica, Annelle. Do you miss them? Yeah. Would you like to go back and see them when I'm older? Would you like them to come here and live with you? Not on a boat, by plane. At the arrival also, it all went well. Eddie the clever, as the others, hides the trauma. One moment you see them, the next you see nothing. He has to be reassured, to ask the same question in different ways, avoid the traps, adopt the hunter and game posture, avoid the inevitable interpretation that he makes that anyone caring for him must be some relay of the authority that is keeping him imprisoned. And he resists. His thoughts escape, unbreakable knots, lies, truths, sweet talks and nagging, smiles suddenly retrieved, and rough no's that are softly taken back, fleeting glances and peaks of immersion.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My God, this is incredible. And as you said, at one point, Jean-Claude even collapsed, in when you read the book.
Yeah, he did.
He says himself, I have no right to feel what I'm feeling now because I'm a journalist and I'm doing this is work. But you can feel how disturbed, profoundly disturbed he is by what he sees, especially with the children of Millbrook.
Yeah, and I think the way he he stayed the investigator and the journalist in the film, the way he avoided this collapsing, it is what he did in the book. It's just that he let himself go and say, and at the end, that very line is that, how do you learn about this man's suicide and not yell? Because what came is this kind of war that came out of him that came at the last line of the book.
I know we are way past time, but I wanted to share my personal connection to what Professor Narcisse just read from the amazingly brilliant world-renowned writer, not going to say Haitian, Jean-Claude, is the fact that you cannot be in the space and be passive and just be there to do a job. Because number one, you are looking at people who looks just like you, at people you could be them and they could be you, which I myself experienced under the bridge in Del Rio. Because at some point, you have these conditions and you're looking at 14,000 people. It's a sea of people. At one point to me, I was literally looking at myself. It wasn't anymore 14,000 people. I literally was looking at 14,000 girline looking back at me and unable to do what I know I should be doing in that moment.
Wow.
It is impossible for you to not collapse. And I have, and many people who are doing the work have collapsed, whether physically, mentally, spiritually, when you are facing such extreme pain that your body, your spirit cannot hold on to, and you are in a space to quote unquote do a job, but this is no longer a job because this has become a part of who you are, and a part of your daily life, because it's not just going there and do this thing, you have to deal with it on a daily basis. So I am very well connected and very well understanding where he was coming from, because I am living that reality today. It is extremely painful, and that's why we continue to ask for Haiti to unify, to Haiti to stand up, for Haiti, the people of Haiti, in Haiti, and those in the diaspora, to really come together, because this pain cannot continue. We cannot have another pastor, a Father Jean-Just, another Jean-Claude, and Gerline is doing the same thing they were doing back then, and the pain that we have to endure literally comes to a place where we mentally collapse, we physically collapse, and we spiritually collapse.
Thank you so much, Gerline. At the same time, I would like to end with a quote from a book written by Jean-Claude Icard about the whole saga of the Haitian boat people. Who will ever say the heroism, the courage, the ingenuity, and the incredible passion that these refugees had in the American jails and camps? Who will ever tell the ingenuity that one has to deploy to live in Miami when you are a Haitian peasant? Thank you so much for your contributions to this incredible section of the MARDI.doc. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Gerlie. We will not stop there. We have a lot to do and to continue. Our reflection, our telling the stories. People have to know what's going on, what happened 50 years ago, what continues until today. So a big thank to Maud, to Laurence, to the whole MOEM team, Cathy, to Stéphane Saint-Ile, who helped Maud to get this documentary, to our staff, Ricardo and Mike, who helped to set this MARDI.doc. And again, thank you to you all for your exemplary contributions. Gerline, we keep in touch. Jasmine, we keep in touch. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Combien de temps fait? C'est sous bâtiment Aurigny?
Yeah.
Combien de temps fait sous de l'eau?
3 semaines.
L'eau arrive à Miami. Jean-Baptiste, il était passé.
Je vais se très bien.
Qui va aller l'eau arrive à Miami?
Encore.
Homme?
Comme notre.
Combien de temps on fait là?
5 mois.